All right, here we go. So we got 10.3. So what do we do in 10.2? What do we do? 10 Pythagorean theorem, right? Was 10.2? Yep. Good. Yep. Okay, so now we got 10.3. So once again, we're dealing with right triangles. Everything for these last two sections are dealing with right triangles. Okay, but here's the deal. These are special right triangles. Okay, let me see if it gives us a good diagram down below. We could. Okay, we could definitely. Got some good pictures for us to use. All right, so 40, 40, 45, 45, 90-degree triangle is the first type of special right triangle. Okay, these triangles have special properties. Here are the special properties. This is what we're going to be using to solve. Now, are we going to memorize these? Absolutely not. Okay, you're going to write them down on your cheat sheet. You're going to have them available for your test, and we're going to use these. And I mean, I'm going to go through these problems and show you guys how to use it. I will be scrolling back up and pointing out which ones I'm using, and you guys just follow along exactly with me. There's not a lot of thinking going on here. It's mostly about, well, a little bit of simplifying radicals, but it's mostly about, can you use the correct tools? Okay. All right, so let's get into it. The easier ones, 45, 45, 90. This is an isosceles triangle. Oh, this is going to be a tough spelling. Isosceles. Ooh, that's tough. Okay. Isosceles triangle. It has two sides that are exactly the same. Both legs are the same. And the hypotenuse is the longest side, so it's not the same. So both the legs measure the same length. Okay. The sides opposite the 45-degree angles are equal, or same length, whatever you want to put. Okay. So here's the first rule. The measure of the hypotenuse is √2 times the measure of the leg. Okay, what does that mean? Well, let's just label a leg. Let's label one leg X. Okay, and if this leg's X and a 45, 45, 90, okay, if this side right here is X, the bottom leg, what's the left leg? Well, that's going to be also X because it's a 45, 45, 90. It's isosceles. Okay, legs are the same. Okay, how do we know that this is the hypotenuse? We know because it's across from the right angle. Okay, so what does it say? The measure of the hypotenuse is √2 times the measure of a leg. So we know the leg is going to be X. Okay, we just named any variable for it. So the hypotenuse is going to be X √2. Okay? Okay, there's not a whole lot of properties or tools we can use here. This is pretty much the only one. Now we just got to use it in our examples, and we're done with 45, 45, 90. That's the easy one. Okay? All right, so let's figure it out. So find the missing sides in each example. Each one of these is 45, 45, 90. Okay, so it gives us 5 for one leg, and it gives us the hypotenuse being X. It wants us to solve for X. Okay, if this is 5, just for kicks, what is this going to be? 5, right? Because it's isosceles. All right, if we know X, the hypotenuse, how do we know it's hypotenuse? It's across from the right angle. Is √2 times one of the legs. What is X going to equal? Okay, up here, look, plug 5 in for X in this problem, and you have your answer. So what's the equation going to be? Or the answer? 5√2. Done. No big deal. Don't try to turn that into a decimal. Leave it just how it is. It's perfect. Okay, next one. A little bit harder. Not really. Okay, very, very easy. If this is 3√2, if we have one leg as 3√2 for the length, what is this leg going to be? Well, it's going to be 3√2. Once again, because it's 45, 45, 90, isosceles triangle tells us the legs are the same. Okay, this one's a little bit harder. So we have X. We're trying to figure out the hypotenuse again. Okay, we know the hypotenuse is √2 times one of the legs. So let's set up our little problem here. We have 3√2, one of the legs, times √2, because because that's our hypotenuse formula. We want to find it. Let's simplify. Remember, multiply the roots together. We have 3 times root 4. What's root 4 equal? 2. We have 3 times 2 equals 6. Okay. Just take the leg, multiply by root 2, simplify. It's very, very easy. Okay, does it give us a harder one yet? Yeah, it does. Okay, now here's the deal. So now we're given a hypotenuse and we're asked to find a leg. Okay, so we need to kind of come up with our own formula for this one. We know the hypotenuse is, so this right here is the hypotenuse. Let's call it H. We know H is going to be root, let's put X first, X root 2. Okay, we know it's a leg times root 2. All right, so if I want to get X by itself, what do I got to do? I got to divide by what? Root 2, don't I? Okay, so if I'm given a hypotenuse, I take the hypotenuse divided by root 2, and this gives me the legs. So we just came up with. Okay, so let's take 7 root 2, divide that by root 2. What do we get? Do that in your head. Okay, should be done with it. 7 root 2 divided by root 2. Cancel it out. We're left with 7. Okay. Okay, now what happens if we don't already have a root 2 in the hypotenuse? We just got to simplify, right? We've done it in our homework plenty of times. Okay, so same formula, right? This is going to be my H. My X is going to equal H divided by root 2. We just did that over here, remember? Okay, so 9 divided by root 2. Do we want to leave roots in the bottom? No, we do not. How do we get rid of it? We multiply the top and bottom by the same root. Okay, then I get 9 root 2 over root 2 times root 2. The roots go away, left with 2. Why? Because root 2 times root 2 is root 4. The square root of 4 is 2. Or just know, when you multiply the same root, square root together, the root goes away. You're just left with whatever is underneath the root. Okay? Okay, that's 45, 45, 90. That's giving you a leg, asks you to find the hypotenuse. And then the second type of problem, which is 3 and 4, find the leg given the hypotenuse. Did I just say that? Okay, let me write it out. Find leg for those two. And this one is find hypotenuse. Boom. Okay, pretty simple. Okay, now it's a little bit harder. Okay, 30, 60, 90. Okay, half of n, ooh. I don't know, stump me on that one. I'll come back to that blank. We're not too worried about it. We just want to get to our rules. Okay, the hypotenuse is twice as long as the shorter leg. Okay, how do you know which one's the shorter leg? That's the first thing we need to talk about. Okay, how do we know which one's the shorter leg? Tell me. Okay, is it going to be the 60? The leg across from the 60? Is it going to be the leg across from the 90? Or is it going to be the leg across from the 30? Okay, here we go. How you know which one is the shorter leg? It's going to be directly across from the smallest angle. That's a coincidence, yes. Okay, that's on purpose. The shortest side is always across from the smallest angle. Okay, so that's what we're going to start with. So the shortest leg, let's call it X. Shortest leg is X. That's the one we're going to start with. And everything is going to be based off that. So the hypotenuse is twice as long as the shorter leg. Okay, so this is the hypotenuse. It's across from the right angle. 2 times X. Okay, the longer leg, which is the last one across from the 60, is root 3 times as long as the shorter leg. So it's going to be X root 3. All right, now we got to use that. Okay, Find the missing sides in each example. We can do that. All right, let's make this 30. Let's make this 60, and we know that one's 90. Okay, first things first, what are we given? Okay, we are given the short side. All right, so everything is going to be based off of that side. So let's just follow our rules here. All right, those are my rules for it. What is my x equal in this problem? It's going to equal 4, right? Okay, well, not this x, right? This x. What is this x going to equal in that problem? It's going to equal 4. Okay, we need to find that x and the y. Okay, so the x is the hypotenuse. We know the hypotenuse is 2 times the shorter side. What's the shorter side? The shorter side is 4. 2 times 4 equals 8. Done. Okay, what about the y? That's a longer leg. We know the longer leg is root 3 times the shorter leg. Okay, so we know it's going to be 4, which is the shorter leg, times root 3. Pretty easy, right? Just keep it straight. Write this on a note card or cheat sheet, and that's what you're going to use. Okay, next one. We have 30, 60, and then 90. Okay, what are we given? We're given the hypotenuse, right? That's a terrible 30. Boom. Okay, we're given the hypotenuse. So everything's going to be based off the hypotenuse. All right, so we need to work backwards here. This is the opposite of last problem. Okay, so based on the given hypotenuse, I need to solve for x and y, the shorter side and longer side, legs really. Okay, all right, so look. So we are given the hypotenuse, right? This is what we're given, right? We know it's 2 times the shorter leg. So we know this hypotenuse is going to be 2 times that. When you multiply what by 2, it gives you 12. Well, we can set up a problem, right? We know 12, the hypotenuse, is going to be 2 times x, 2 times my shorter side. How do I get x by itself? Divide by 2, x equals 6. Done. Okay. Always solve for the shorter side first. It's going to be way easier because remember, everything's based off the shorter side. So solve for that first. Once you have that, then you could continue moving on. Okay, now y is going to be easy, right? We know y is root 3 times the shortest leg. Well, we just solved for the shortest leg. The shortest leg is 6. Root 3 times 6 is 6 root 3. Why do I have 2 i's in the given? No idea. Okay, just practice these. That's how you get good at them. These are pretty straightforward. Okay, last but not least, let's do a longer leg one. So we're going to be given the longer leg in this problem. Remember what I said, solve for the shortest leg. Solve for that first. Okay, so we are given the longer leg. It is 9. But remember, the longer leg is root 3 times x. Okay, or in this problem, it's 9, which is the longer leg, equals root 3 times x. How do you get x by itself? You divide by root 3, both sides. We're going to have to simplify this, so pay attention here. Don't mess this up. So we have 9 over root 3. Okay, how do I get the root 3 out from the bottom? I multiply top and bottom by root 3. Let me fix that. There we go. These pens are sometimes hard to write small with. Okay, multiply straight across. I'm going to get 9 root 3 on the top and 3 on the bottom. Okay, you're not done, right? You can still simplify that. What's 9 divided by 3? 3 root 3. What do we do? Long leg is root 3 times the shorter. So this is, x is going to be 3 root 3. Okay, almost done. So remember, we have the shorter side, so now we can find the hypotenuse. So remember, the hypotenuse is 2 times the shorter leg. Well, we just found the shorter leg. So y is going to equal 2 times 3 root 3. Okay, multiply the 2 and the 3 together, we get 6 root 3. Done. Okay, these are going to seem weird. They're going to seem tricky. They're not. You just got to practice. The problem is you guys don't practice and you want to hop on photo math. Don't do it. You learn nothing if you do that. Okay, you can also use this. This is the same thing, right? Yep, exactly the same. I like pictures, so I would use a diagram like I've been doing, and I would use a diagram here. I don't know. Pictures help me more. Let's do the example for us. See if I can leave this for you guys. I might make this an extra credit problem for those of you that watch the video. We'll see. Let me read it. A triangular support shown on the blueprint forms a 30, 60, 90 degree triangle. On the plans, the leg opposite from the 30-degree angle measures 4 centimeters. What does it measure? Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, sure. If you send me this in your, let's say, what is this, 10.3? It is 10.3. Send me this on your 10.3 homework. Send me this problem also, and I'll give you extra credit. Remember to label it the extra credit problem. Okay, I'll give you 5 out of 4 if you get this correct. All right, that's my deal. 5 out of 4 on that homework assignment. Cool. All right, guys, let me know if you got problems. I'm available for Zoom. Take advantage of it. That's why I'm here. Okay, see you guys.